It's looking good. Let's go over to format layers and going to WCS. Well, let's go into layers, I'm sorry. And the geometry here on layer number 6 is the developmental layer. We're going to turn off so we can come here for the second and take a look at the solid body and start guess we need to do some analysis. But if we go under info and we select object, and if you do select the solid body, give it it shows that it's a non-parametric solid. So we have to go into minimum radius. If we go minimum radius and select that radius and hit OK, and it only gives us information about the units, but doesn't give us no size. So if we go under analysis and we go under, let's go under measure, minimum radius. Minimum radius, we go back into simple radius and select here, and that's 10 millimeters. So cancel out there and do that one more time. Measure simple radius. So we select the radius, it gives us the radius size, and we're going to write it down on a piece of paper so we remember those radiuses. Go back, let's go into measure simple radius. That's the most effective one. So I go and select this and give me the radius. So I write it down. Analysis, let's go under minimum radius, that's 2. If I select that and hit OK, it also gives me an 8. Sometimes it doesn't, depends on the geometry. So just demonstrating that it works sometimes and sometimes it doesn't. But if we go back here under measure and select simple radius and select the blend is 8 millimeters. So we write down that information on a piece of paper. Select that radius one more time. That is a blend of 5. We write it down. And the next thing that we gotta do is we need to measure the distance from the top of that plate to the bottom. So if we select distance and we select that little widget, it's going to project the distance. And this is a vector direction, but sometimes we forget about. We just select one of the faces, select the top face, and it gives us a ruler there, and then we just go back again and select the bottom face, and that gives us the exact distance that we're measuring for. Okay, so go ahead and select OK. And there's another way. We can go under preferences, analysis again, and select measure distance, projected distance, and notice that there's a vector direction. If I select that vector, all I have to do is just select one face and go to the bottom and select that face, and that gives me the distance immediately. It's quicker. So I hit OK. Know that that's 25. Go back on the format layer settings and make my work layer number 1. Turn off layer number 6. Come back. Now I have my parametric solid. And I'm going to start applying blends. So if I select this blend here, I believe that was 5. And this was 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, again and again. So I rotate around, be sure that all my blends are 5. I hit apply so I keep the edge blend palette here in front of me. There is another radius that I have here, and it was a 15 and maybe it was 10, I don't remember, but it doesn't matter, we just change it if we have to later on. Hit apply, and then we have to apply the 8 millimeters blends, which are the verticals first. Be careful that we just select all the verticals first and hit apply, and then we're going to do the bottom. Hit apply and cancel. Okay, it's looking good. Seems like we have all the blends, we have the extrusions and so on, so we're ready to move on. I think that we're ready to, if we look at the part navigator, everything is in the proper order. So we're going to do the shelf, but before we do the shelf, we gotta do these faces. We forgot these circles, you know, those holes. So we edit the parameters on the extrusion. Select the two circles and hit OK. And that's just to demonstrate that sometimes we forget to include some of the geometry, and it's very easy to modify. Go back and select shelf, select the faces, select the bottom, select the area around the holes, and remember what the thickness of that part is supposed to be. 5 millimeters, so we type in 5 and hit OK. Looking good. So we orientate the WCS in relationship to this arc here. So we have the XY on the circle. Double click on the arc, and gotta be sure that down at the bottom here where it says limits, the little widget, if it's not open, we open it, and then we select full circle and hit OK, and that creates a circle. We're going to create an extrusion, select reverse, extend it a little bit on both sides, and then perform the boolean. Cool. It's coming out pretty good now. Okay, so the next thing that we gotta do is do the trimming, but don't remember what the distance was on that height. I forgot to write it down. So let's go back and activate the non-parametric solid, and again do the analysis, measure distance, and select the face, and select the top face, and because we didn't select the vector, then we select the bottom face again, and that's 25. Go back again from layer settings, turn on layer number 1, turn off layer number 6, so we have the parametric solid display, and we're going to create a datum plane from the bottom face and going in 25 millimeters. Okay, it's in the right place. And the next thing that we're going to do is do the trimming. So we select this parametric solid body, hit OK, then select the datum plane and do an OK with the vector pointing the correct direction. It's looking good. We got the part in the right direction now. We're going to go back to layers. And verify that everything is in the right place. We're going to move to layer number, one of the layers, this datum plane. Let's move it to layer 12. And you give it a user-defined category. So on layer 12, put an underscore and type in datums and select create. And double click on layer number 12, hit OK. And orientate the view to the tri or the tri-isometric. Let's go under format, select layers again, layer settings. Double check on the layer number 6 where we had the non-parametric solid body. Layer number 1, we have our part. And we're going to go into edit and select that one. Hit OK and change it according to the instructions. I believe they told us to go color number red or layer number red. Hit OK. Go under format, layer settings, and this time gonna verify that we have everything correct in the proper layers. So we're gonna make layer number 1 the work layer, turn off on all the layers, turn off all the layers again, hit close. What we're gonna do is we're gonna make the part DCS. So you gotta go into your folder and read all the information about DCS. So we go under format and select WCS, set the WCS to the absolute, and replace the view to the isometric. Do a refresh, be sure that everything is correct. Unshade the part and follow all the points that are supposed to be for DCS. So just to make this a little bit short, we're gonna make a file, we're gonna do save, and you're gonna save your part. And hopefully that's all you have to do.